This video is sponsored by Squarespace. On this channel, we sure have had our fair share at taking a look at the dark, violent, and downright strange areas of animation.
Oh.
But for this one, I want to take a look at something a bit different. Something that, in my opinion, is a beautiful, well-crafted, down-to-earth breath of fresh air in the world of animation. And that is the short titled Welcome to My Life, produced by Cartoon Network in 2017. Before I talk about the short itself, let's take a look back in the 90s. Back in the mid-90s, Cartoon Network had a mini-series called the What a Cartoon Show, where different animators and directors would have a chance to produce one-off cartoon shorts, which would usually last around 7 minutes in length. The teams behind these shorts would be given a lot more creative freedom than a typical television series, resulting in a burst of fresh new ideas, unique storytelling, and animation styles.
Listen to me. If you don't get me out of here, I will be put to sleep. Do you understand me? You will be indirectly responsible for the resulting euthanasia.
Oh boy, they got enough kids over there as it is.
If any of these shorts prove to be particularly popular, they could then go on to perhaps get a fully fledged television series. This led to the creation of some of Cartoon Network's most popular shows, such as Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls, which I've actually covered in previous videos. These new originals really helped Cartoon Network find its feet, now being able to air brand new original content rather than relying on the previous works of Hanna-Barbera. Since then, however, this trend of producing unique shorts kinda died out for a while, and it wasn't until 2013 that Cartoon Network started releasing them again. The recently most popular of these shorts was a short titled Infinity Train, which was released on the 2nd of November 2016, currently holding 4.9 million views on Cartoon Network's YouTube channel. The short was proven to be so popular that Cartoon Network gave it a mini-series of 10 episodes, which aired in August 2019, and was met with a positive reception both from critics and audiences, with Cartoon Network confirming that the series would return for a second season in the near future. But there was also another incredibly well-received short, currently holding 3.8 million views since its upload on the 7th of April 2017, with 215,000 likes. Very similar to the popularity of the Infinity Train short, but at the time of this review has received no green light from Cartoon Network to develop into a full series. Let's take a closer look at that short and why I believe it also deserves something of its own. The plot of this short follows a day in the life of Douglas, who, fun fact, is actually voiced by the creator of this short's brother.
My name's Douglas, but my friend Brian and all my friends usually call me T-Cash.
T-Cash, in case you haven't noticed, is a teenage monster who attends a school full of humans.
I got that name from my grandma. She said that my middle name Takeshi is actually a word for strong in Japanese.
Or, they were just big fan of Takeshi's Castle. God, I love that show.
It's lodged. This one could dislodge it now. Ow! Oh dear! All the way back down. That looked fairly painful.
And I think it's also apparent that the creator of this short, Elizabeth Ito, or is it Ito? I'm sure you guys will happily correct me in the comment section. Well, it's obvious that Elizabeth, insert correct pronunciation here, was a big fan of kaiju herself, as we not only get a mention of my boy Godzilla, sporting his King of the Monsters crown, but also Gamera, a lesser known monster series produced in Japan. T-Cash is the only monster that attends the school, and from what we can tell, is the only monster living in his town, so we follow his life events on how he tries to fit in with everyday life. Now, this is obviously not the first show to ever attempt a story like this, but I do think it's the first to present it in such a realistic and respectful manner. Halfway through the day, T-Cash gets into a confrontation with another kid, and now has to fight him at the end of the school day, much to T-Kesh's dismay. The short is presented to us in a documentary style, as we get interview segments where T-Kesh is telling an off-camera interviewer his inner thoughts and feelings as the day progresses. These interview sections are very well done, not only helping us get further insight into the character, but just the way they are shot. They are purposely composed in a much more amateur fashion, with the audio being of a lower quality.
When we were young, there weren't as many monsters running around, but in today's world, there's all kinds of people.
It kind of reminds me of the Creature Comfort series, where you would have actual interviews taking place with animals animated over the top of them.
I hate seafood. I really, absolutely detest it. I did eat a fish once, about 2 years ago, and it was, I think they're disgusting.
Making it feel much more realistic and differentiating it from the normal segment, even having moments where we vaguely hear the interviewer interjecting.
Meet me after 6th period and we're gonna like fight.
What do you think you're gonna do?
Learn how to fight.
This kind of quality and attention to detail is echoed in the short throughout. The animation, for example, is fantastic. The aesthetic reminds me of the style used in The Amazing World of Gumball, where you have a photorealistic background, with the characters on screen maintaining a more traditional cartoony look to them. This short does a brilliant job of combining the 3D modelling with a 2D look to it, similar to what Disney achieved with its animated short, Paperman. There is a lot of subtle detail in the animation which really shows the care and attention that went into this, such as how the car tilts when T-Kesh gets into it, the reflection on the school floor, and even the movements of the characters to convey emotion, such as the twitching of T-Kesh's eyes to show his nervousness when talking about the fight he's got to have, and even the hesitancy of this mother as T-Kesh high-fives her daughter. The music presented is a very soft, lo-fi, ambient style, perfectly complementing the slower and more chilled pace of the short. But the music isn't even always present, as we get long, relatively quiet scenes which just focuses on the sounds going on in the world around us. The short reaches its climax as we finally get T-Kesh having to confront the kid who wants to fight him, in what I believe to be one of the greatest resolutions to a bullying scenario in any cartoon.
Yeah, but I don't like him trying to say stuff about me, that I'm like a version of him or something.
What's wrong with being like him?
That's a really simple, yet hard-hitting question, and it resolves the conflict without the need of any spectacle or display. See, even with other realistic shows like Hey Arnold and Recess, they themselves have also tackled the issue of bullying, but even those more down-to-earth shows had a pretty spectacular resolution, such as the other kids all uniting together, or doing a wacky dance to convince the bully you're clinically insane.
I got to break a plate. Don't hit me. I'll hit me. I'm crazy.
Yeah, let's not think about that one too much. But this anticlimactic resolution actually works. I mean, let's face it, T-Kesh with his strength could have probably quite easily have beaten the bully in a fist fight.
Being punched several times by a smaller boy. Suddenly, though, Casey then just body slams the other boy and sending the other boy, wow.
Don't disrespect me.
The whole thing is just solved with words. 6 to be precise.
What's wrong with being like him?
And I think this is why a short like this deserves more than just one episode. Having a more natural and realistic take on everyday problems is something that both young and mature audiences can learn from, especially when the market is currently saturated with these high-energy sci-fi themed kind of shows. And I'm not saying that these type of shows are bad by any means. Personally, I love a lot of them. I mean, Gravity Falls was pretty much one of these, and it's one of my favourite cartoon series ever. But I do also like to have variety, and at the moment, I do feel like the market is lacking some of these more original, down-to-earth shows. Shows that used to air like Rugrats, Hey Arnold, Recess, Doug, and even Ed, Edd and Eddy to an extent. I mean, I love Regular Show, and I know the gimmick of Regular Show was to have a normal, everyday event suddenly fly off the handle and turn into some epic battle. But there were times where I'd be watching Regular Show and just thinking, can't we just stick with the normal plotline? Do we have to go all sci-fi towards the end? Because I would like to see them resolve this plot in a normal, regular manner. I do get how a show like this would be difficult to develop into a full-blown series due to its limitations in possible storytelling, but I think it could very easily pull off a mini-series. And even if this particular short didn't get made into a full series, I hope that this positive reception and feedback in the comments section would at least encourage networks to bring back some of the more down-to-earth themed shows. But sadly, as of the time of this review, Cartoon Network hasn't expressed any intention to expand upon this short, nor has it announced any new cartoon lineups that would offer a more down-to-earth approach. But who knows, maybe they do have something up their sleeves. Maybe we will see something like this in the near future. For now, we're just gonna have to wait and see. Just want to give a quick shout out to Squarespace, who are this video's sponsor. Squarespace is a platform which allows you to easily build your own website, even if, like me, you have no website building experience whatsoever.
No, what are you doing?
Present your work using Squarespace's professional portfolio designs, pull in content from Twitter and Instagram, and create video backgrounds to offer a modern visual experience, along with many other features that you can see listed in the background footage. If you'd like to give it a go and get 10% off your first website, click the link in the description below or go to squarespace.com/SteveReviews.